Здорово. Даньків продовжує проходити.
Pull yourself together and get up onto that platform.
Що ж, нарешті пора відправитися в проклятий інститут.
Let's see. Relays dialed in. Beam emitters warmed up. Everything looks green. Let me start scanning for the signal. Cross your fingers. I'm inputting the code now. Wow, there's a heck of a lot of interference and ghosting. It's gonna take a minute or two to lock in. By the way, this little trip you're taking is a heck of an opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. I put a clever little program on this holotape that'll scan their network and download anything it finds. If you place it in any terminal down there, it'll do the rest. Bring it back to me and I'll see if I can make sense of whatever it found. Well, well, looks like we have a winner. RF wave capture complete. Ramping the emitter. 60%, 80%. Emitter spiking but steady. All that's left is to throw the transmit switch. Transmitting in 3, 2, 1. Stay safe, soldier.
Вау. Це круто. Welcome to Інститут, ёпта.
Hello. I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
Непогані тут технології.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us.
Я думаю, що
I'd
ви
like to show
ублюдки.
you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Мене вже хочеться плівати від його піздежа, що він щось наговорив. Помогти, спасти чоловічество. Якби ви хотіли спасти чоловічество, вже би помагали. Як братство, і ще цілий список благотворительних організацій. Типа последователі апокаліпсиса з Нового Вегаса. Мерзкі брехуни. Ви хочете... Ну, не то, щоб всіх поработить. Інститут розсматриває все чоловічество як своїх подопитних. Це просто класичні божевільні вчені, які проводять іслідування, і їм плівать на все, крім науки. Вони крайні небезпечні. Я читав біографії таких безумних вчених. Создавай ракети, тому що хочеш полетіти в космос. І плівать, що ці самі ракети можна використати як оружие масового пораження.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Is that really you?
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your mom.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Those bastards. They killed your father.
What's going on? Father? Father!
I'll kill them for this. All of them.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Who is father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! She's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli.
Дитинка Сінт.
Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Father. That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute. Just as you are a parent to your son, to Sean.
I want answers, asshole. Now!
Under the circumstances, I will forgive your vulgarity, but I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been... It's good to finally meet you. After all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
Пиздец. Я від такого поворота, чесно кажучи, охренел.
Bullshit!
Is it? After all the things you've seen and experienced in the Commonwealth? Think about it. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the sun you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
They stole you. Kidnapped you. It wasn't right.
Right, wrong, irrelevant. It was necessary. The Institute believed humanity's future depended on it. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you?
In a manner of speaking. Yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics, used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
Sean. It's really you.
It really is. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leach kept the collateral damage to a
Сопутствующий
minimum.
ущерб.
The Institute took
Сразу
advantage
видно
of Kellogg's
бездушного
vicious
вченого.
nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Ти злегка отомстив Келлогу, спустивши його на рідну маму? Ужас. Ці психи з інститута зробили з тебе чудовище.
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say
Начать
to ease your
спочатку.
mind?
Помагати інституту не варіант. Вони чудовища. І з тебе зробили, на жаль, чудовище. Це самий грустний момент ігри. Узнати, що твій син 60-річний старік, мозги якого начисто промиті безумними вченими.
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
They're scared of you, Sean. Scared of the Institute.
People are always frightened by what they don't understand. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've
Нічого
seen or
бояться.
heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
I won't be a part of this. I can't.
Why? Because of the reputation of the Institute. The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like.
Нет, ти
I
нас цим
assure
не
you that
купиш,
you are better off with us.
синок.
Your institute has done some horrible things.
Yes, well, the world is not what it used to be. What about the people you've aided in order to get here? What atrocities have they committed? The Brotherhood of Steel. They believe they're the only ones fit to control technology and destroy anyone who opposes them. And you would side with them. None have any true claim to nobility in this world.
Ще й
Those days
братство
are
брехав.
gone. But we are not the monsters we have been cast as.
Ви
I simply ask
чудовище.
that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
I'm sorry. I can't do that.
I'm sorry to hear that. I had certainly hoped we could work together. But every man must make his own decisions. If you choose to leave, I cannot force you to stay. Understand, though, that I cannot allow you to remain within the Institute. You may have safe passage back to the relay, where you will be sent back to the surface. But from that point, you must be considered hostile. I am sorry.
Считати рідну мать врагом?
I must think first of the safety of the Institute. And in the cruel world that has developed, those who are not with us are against us. The elevator will return you to the relay.
Sean, can we talk about this?
Have you reconsidered your decision?
Forget it.
I see.
No way to pick this.
Ну, звісно, допомагати інституту. Я зовсім не збираюсь. Но, сука, реально так грустно. Це напомнило мені українську ігру Шерлок Холмс Пробуджений. Я її теж проходив. Молодого сина англійського лорда спасли служителі культа Ктулху і якось обратили в свою віру. Розумний молодий пацан перетворився в сумасшедшего мракобеса, одержимого массовым человеческим жертвоприношением с призывом древнего монстра. Приносить скільки в них аптечок. Лабораторія віруса рукотворної еволюції. Якщо вас ще не переконало, що інститут чудовища, то от вам доказательства. Вони проводять страшні записи. Ой, вони проводять страшні дослідження. З тим самим вірусом, який породив супермутантів. Якщо вже хтось проводить експерименти такого толка, То він чудовисько. В кубі. Но зараз показательно треба согласитися з Шоном.
Sean, can we talk about this?
Have you reconsidered your decision?
I've changed my mind.
Well, that's good to hear. All right, then. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course.
Нічого нам з ними говорити,
Then we'll
крім
discuss
доктора
what
Лі.
comes next.
Я помню, поговорив з одним доктором, що роботами займається, і ступив. Сказав, що побідіть охотника було легко. А він сказав, що, що треба їх перекалібрувати.
Tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month.
Скоро ви всі заплатите за свої
As the
поступлення.
Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on
Most
the
of them have
surface.
lasted long
How
past
may I
the
assist you today?
If you ask me.
Sure. Let's take...
Нічого мені від інституту не
Even so,
треба.
I'm ready to... See the full Gen 3.
Що зараз знайдемо доктора Лі. Ну, експерименти вони тут проводять реально
Tell me
вражають.
about this mysterious Phase 3.
You know I can't talk about that.
Відділ вищих систем. Я говорив з відділом робототехніки. Вони тут вже хочуть дойти до чоловіка робили синтетично, тепер пора за остальних
She's been at it
животних.
for 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing.
Excuse me.
At this point,
Yeah.
she's just doing it for fun.
Huh?
Doctor?
Oh, hi there. Sorry if I seem distracted. I memorized 5 sets of design schematics and now I'm doing detailed mental comparisons.
What kinds of blueprints?
Mostly components for a new plasma pistol concept I've been toying with. High energy weapons are sort of a hobby of mine. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to say how much I admire Father, and that it's an honor to meet you. I really hope you'll stay here with us. Well, that was productive. It's really exciting having you here. I can't wait
Doc?
to see what you can do.
Since you're new here, you should take time to learn our safety procedures. And the sooner the better. Rules create order, and order promotes efficiency.
Звучить як логіка якогось тут такого тоталітарної.
Too many rules get in the way of efficiency. It slows things down.
Well, I've heard that before. I've also seen scientists get too cavalier with protocols and end up dead. It only takes one mistake, one lapse. Remember that. I had some handbooks made up, but that was years ago. I'll see about getting one to you.
Sounds good.
Take care then.
Привіт,
Excuse me, Dr. Lee?
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here.
Actually, I was looking for you.
Me? Why?
I've been sent by the Brotherhood of Steel to find you.
You don't beat around the bush, I'll give you that. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
Ой, інститут насрав.
Why would we want you dead?
I did some pretty sensitive work for the Brotherhood of Steel. Even though Lions let me go, there were a few others in the ranks that thought I knew too much. That's why I came to the Institute. It was the only place that I thought I'd be out of the Brotherhood's reach and still be able to do my research. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
Are you happy here?
You'd think being surrounded by cutting-edge laboratory equipment and some of the greatest minds the world's ever known would be enough. Only problem is the lack of transparency. I don't think we get the full story on everything that occurs down here. What does that have to do with why we're talking?
You should return to the Brotherhood.
Even if I wanted to return to them, why would they want me back?
The Brotherhood valued your presence, and we'd like you to come back.
Well, how sweet of them. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
Father trusts me, and so should you.
He trusts you because you're family. I'm not. I can't just take your word for it. I need more than that.
The Brotherhood has always been straight with you.
I am getting a bit tired of all the secrets around here. Sometimes I feel like Father isn't being straight with me. Like there are things I'm not supposed to know about. I don't like that. But still, how can I turn my back on all of this?
Your work could be instrumental in freeing the Commonwealth.
You really know how to push my buttons, don't you? You know, I never understood why the Institute was so damn selfish. All those innocent people up there, dying. And here I am surrounded by technology that could make their lives better. Yet we hide down here and insulate ourselves from everything and everyone. It's not right. It's not right. I'll make my way back to the Brotherhood. But I'm going to have to do it on my own. I can't take any chances being seen with you. Tell whoever sent you that they've just regained the services of Dr. Madison Lee. Now, for the sake of keeping up appearances, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
I don't want one of those things anywhere near me.
If you expect to be coming and going, you're going to need one. You may have noticed the relay is our only access to the surface. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Speaking of, I trust our discussion will remain between the two of us. Now, I need to get back to work, and I'm sure you have other things to do.
Доктор Лі тепер з нами.
Rushed work is sloppy at best and deadly at worst.
Ну це ще не все.
I have a variety of items that should prove useful in your surface missions.
Ця штука нам знадобиться. Біологічні науки. Сюди нам треба. Тут працював Верджил, і тут є його сіверочка. Місцева тепличка.
I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations in Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long out there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. Those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well...
Hey, Doc.
Yes, I'm sure that whatever you have to say is very interesting, but now simply isn't the time.
Ooh, working on something important?
All of my work is important. Now, if you're quite finished, I'd very much like to get back to these mental equations. They're difficult enough without the distractions.
Equations for what?
Honestly, you wouldn't understand them. Now, I'm afraid I must end this little chat, although it's been so very diverting.
It's great to have you here.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
Мечтайте, тварі. Є о чим нам працювати.
Dr. Holdren's synth
Синтетичні
gorilla project is
горили.
showing promising results. You're here. Glad you made it.
Термінал входа в лабораторію віруса рукотворної еволюції. Забрати владельца ферми і провести серію допросів з пристрастием? Да ви, сволочі! Я би вже хочеться цей довбаний інститут рознести по камішкам. Нічого, всьому свій час. От і лабораторія. Бачите, тут видно, що це покинуте місце. Так діло не піде. Як же попасти в той відділ ВРЕ? Опача!
Yes. Sweet.
Лабораторія небезпечна.
Perimeter movement detected. Possible stealth unit in the AO.
Nice.
Resetting threat level.
Пиздец. Ви самі бачите.
Sweet.
Оце я мав на увазі під небезпекою лабораторії. Алейна граната Сінтів, а що вона робить таке? розібратися з цим чудовиськом, поки воно не вийшло на базу.
Hostile.
Забираємо все. Чим менше в інститута чого угодно, тим лучше. Кошатина. Сука, як я люблю котів. Грустно як. Експерименти на животних. Яке варварство. Мерзотніше варварство. Я догадувався, що так буде. Ну, рискну. Супермутанти, да? Сразу видно вірус рукотворної еволюції. Не, ну... Чудовищні експерименти.
Personal record. Dr. Brian Virgil. This will likely be my last recording. My requests to shut down the FEV program have repeatedly been denied. We've learned nothing useful in the last 10 years. Why does Father insist on continuing it? If he won't see reason, then I have to take matters into my own hands. What we're doing, it's not right. It needs to stop. If anyone should find this after I'm gone, know that I never wanted to hurt anyone. Anyone! Do you understand me? I'm gonna make sure the whole program is shut down. If not for good, then at least for years to come. After that, I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan, and if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the coursers can find me. Everything that we've done, the lives we've taken. If there is a God, may he have mercy on us all.
Радий, що Верджил осознав свої помилки. А вон цей вчений, з яким я говорив. Ніс Пургу з відділу біонаук про ми маємо сохранити чоловічність, якщо хочемо спасти чоловічество. Який лицемір. Якби ти сохранив чоловічність, то не став би участвувати в похищенні жителів Содружества. А як Верджил би втік з цього проклятого інституту подав.
This is Dr. Elliot with the official report for the Directorate from Bioscience. The date is, August 2178. I'm pleased to report that, as has been the case during my tenure, crop yields exceed expectations. In point of fact, everything down here is fine, with one notable exception. Dr. Frederick has informed me that the Directorate has pre-approved research on samples of the FEV virus, which he already has in his possession. Now, I'm not one to question the Directorate, you all know that. I don't even want to know where this came from, but, well, this is troubling. Dangerous, possibly. I will do my best to make sure risks are minimized, but I really do hope that the consequences are understood.
Да, не інститут розробив цей вірус, а анклав. І напополам з Волттек. Ні, Волттек його ізобрели і проводили експерименти в убіжищі 87. Утилизирован, скончався. Фраза утилізирован мене бісить. Говорити про живе существо, ну або навіть про мертвеця, як про мусор.
This is Dr. Elliot reporting for the Bioscience Division. March 22-24. We just received another batch of subjects, but as my previous report stated, we're at an impasse here. More of the same won't help. The two most promising strains of FEV have been adapted to an ideal state, but we're still missing something. I am officially echoing the team's position. The most likely progress for our research on synthetic organics requires new avenues of exploration. Additional Commonwealth subjects will not help. It's the same problem across the board. Exposure to too much radiation. We need someone new. There's a proposal we'll be putting forward. I am not entirely comfortable with it, but it seems the best course.
latest synth generation is just amazing. Those guys in robotics are working miracles.
You smell like you've been above ground.
Що ж, пора вернуться на поверхню і отчитаться. В першу чергу віддамо Верджину сиворотку. Ну, це гарно.
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start the next trial. The dosage will be less violent, and the side effects will likely be more pronounced.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still.
Понятно, лікарня.
Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office. Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced.
I hope I'll prove a useful test like this. Dr. Watson can be a little obsessive when it comes to rules and policies.
Hey! Welcome. Do you require additional supplies?
I've got a few minutes to...
Трохи позбавив інститут переваг. І відправимося далі. Інститут, звісно, красивий, але це таке, я б сказав, похоже на яблуко. На деякі яблука, що всередині, що зовні шикарні, а серцевина гнила. Як мені покинути? Треба зустрітися з руководителями відділень ще. Да. Що?
Busted.
Закрили тут знатно.
About this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
You made a child synth that looks like you. It's an abomination.
It's a synth, not a human being. A simulacrum. Try to be more open-minded. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
Seriously, you really believe a human could love a synth?
That's a difficult question. I suppose it depends on how closely we've managed to mimic human behavior and emotions. Yours is a unique position. You may be the only one that's truly able to answer these questions right now. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some small way the boy's presence can help, I hope you'll keep an open mind.
It's an honor to have you here, ma'am.
Operating at full capacity.
Seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're dragging
Power
their
armor
meat.
is sturdy
Targeting
enough,
package upgrades
but
I
it
asked
limits
for.
your
Maybe I
mobility.
should take some
You
courses.
wouldn't happen to have a spare polarizer on you, would you?
Please don't.
You!
There's enough friction as it is between
So,
us and pretty much all the
Here
other
you are.
departments.
Justin Ao, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions. It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
So basically, you're the secret police.
Secret police? If that's a pre-war reference, then I'm afraid it's lost on me. Our main instrument is the Courser,
a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a courser should be more than a match for any single combatant. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'd like to know more about the synth reclamation process.
Fine. Once a courser has located a rogue synth, it uses that synth's recall code to wipe its memories and render it inert. We then begin the delicate process of restoring the neural pathways to their original configuration. In those cases where the procedure is successful, the synth returns to duty with no memory of its time on the surface. All too often, we're unable to repair the damage and are forced to dispose of the unit entirely.
Subject identified.
Food supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one.
А тут з главним ми не поговорили.
Dr. Carlin's doing some amazing things with our genetically engineered crops.
Excuse me.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of studies such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I doubt it. I just don't think I'd fit in.
It's a big decision, I know. But it's also a rare and important opportunity. No need to rush to judgment. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You mentioned medical care? I might need that from time to time.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. Dean Volkert. He's our top biologist and also serves as the Institute's resident physician. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit whenever you need to. You won't find better medical care anywhere else in the Commonwealth. I'll promise you that.
Ну і останній. Для цього ми зможемо покинути інститут. Горіли сінти. Ну і експеримент. Обязательно було, до речі, починати експеримент зі створення настільки небезпечних существ, а? конкретно зі всього можливого списку вибрали іменно зашибись. Волі.
Hey!
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son. Keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
I'm not on board with anything.
No? And yet here you are, poking around. One might find that suspicious. If you're not planning on staying, I'd recommend keeping your hands to yourself. Wouldn't want to give the impression you're up to something. And consider having another talk with Sean. He really is anxious to have you with us. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
Надейся. Через 100 років. Надейся. Скоро вашому інституту кінець. Вместе з вами. Якщо обвините мене в спойлерах, я отвечу відповідь. Та ладно, хто би сумнівався, що в інституту є будущее з його вот таким підходом.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute.
First things first. How do I get back to the surface?
The same way you got in, of course. You are not a prisoner here. You may come and go as you please. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind, redefined. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
Wait. If they're so dangerous, you should destroy them and start over with a better design.
There is no need for such drastic action. We are constantly working to correct any flaws that might arise. As you will soon see, we're also more than capable of reclaiming any synths that become a danger to the surface. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
Who erased his memories? And why?
Those idealistic radicals who call themselves the Railroad are behind it. We'll deal with them in time. But right now, the priority is to reclaim that synth before more harm is done. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
Не бреши. Вас цікавить повернення Сінта, а не спасіння людей. Та й подземка тут, якщо чесно, не винувата. Ці радикали-ідеалісти, як він сказав, вони прочистять мозги, але не зроблять Сінта рейдера. Кроме того, тут Сінти нападають на поселення. Причому стаями, з оружієм. І я маю на увазі оцих Сінтів першого покоління. Тих, що як прості солдати дійствують. Вони не можуть самі дійствувати. Видно, прикази віддає Інститут. Да, ще одна вішенка на торт з преступлень. Нічого. Як я вже казав, вони за все відповідять. Ну, я маю на увазі сотрудники Інститута. Сінти — це просто інструмент. Що з них взяти? Ну, крім їхнього знищення. Я не понял.
Emergency relay activated. Relay powering up. Ready in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relay online and engaging.
От і все. Ми вернулися в Содружество. А потім ми вернемося в Інститут тільки для того, щоб окончательно з ним розібратися. Ну, а відчитуватися перед Проктором Інгран, Мексоном і віддавати сиворотку Верджилу ми вже будемо в наступному відео. Інститут. Дякую за увагу. Пока.